Welcome to AmA Media.2.0. I hope you find here what you were looking for. Thumbs up the video, share and subscribe if you haven't yet. Now let's get it. Enjoy! The power spectrum P of a random vector W can be defined as the expected value of the squared modulus of each coefficient of its Fourier transform W, that is, pi equals e, y, 2. Under that definition, a Gaussian white noise vector will have a perfectly flat power spectrum, with pi equals sigma 2 for all I. If W is a white random vector, but not a Gaussian one, its Fourier coefficients y will not be completely independent of each other, although for large n and common probability distributions the dependencies are very subtle, and their pairwise correlations can be assumed to be zero. Often the weaker condition, statistically uncorrelated, is used in the definition of white noise, instead of statistically independent. However, some of the commonly expected properties of white noise, such as flat power spectrum, may not hold for this weaker version. Generation. White noise may be generated digitally with a digital signal processor, microprocessor, or microcontroller. Generating white noise typically entails feeding an appropriate stream of random numbers to a digital to analog converter. The quality of the white noise will depend on the quality of the algorithm used. Time series analysis and regression. In statistics and econometrics, one often assumes that an observed series of data values is the sum of a series of values generated by a deterministic linear process. Depending on certain independent, explanatory, variables, and on a series of random noise values. Then regression analysis is used to infer the parameters of the model process from the observed data, e.g. by ordinary least squares, and to test the null hypothesis that each of the parameters is zero against the alternative hypothesis that it is non-zero. Hypothesis testing typically assumes that the noise values are mutually uncorrelated with zero mean and have the same Gaussian probability distribution. In other words, that the noise is Gaussian white, not just white. If there is non-zero correlation between the noise values underlying different observations, then the estimated model parameters are still unbiased. But estimates of their uncertainties, such as confidence intervals, will be biased, not accurate on average. This is also true if the noise is heteroscedastic, that is, if it has different variances for different data points. Alternatively, in the subset of regression analysis known as time series analysis, there are often no explanatory variables other than the past values of the variable being modeled, the dependent variable. In this case, the noise process is often modeled as a moving average process, in which the current value of the dependent variable depends on current and past values of a sequential white noise process. Informal use. The term is sometimes used as a colloquialism to describe a backdrop of ambient sound, creating an indistinct or seamless commotion. Following are some examples. Chatter from multiple conversations within the acoustics of a confined space. The pleonastic jargon used by politicians to mask a point that they don't want noticed. Music that is disagreeable, harsh, dissonant or discordant with no melody. The term can also be used metaphorically, as in the novel White Noise, 1985, by Don DeLillo, which explores the symptoms of modern culture that came together so as to make it difficult for an individual to actualize their ideas and personality. Brown noise can be produced by integrating white noise. That is, whereas digital, white noise can be produced by randomly choosing each sample independently. Brown noise can be produced by adding a random offset to each sample to obtain the next one. As Brownian noise contains infinite spectral power at low frequencies, the signal tends to drift away infinitely from the origin. A leaky integrator might be used in audio or electromagnetic applications to ensure the signal does not wander off, that is, exceed the limits of the system's dynamic range. This turns the Brownian noise into Ornstein-Uhlenbeck noise, which has a flat spectrum at lower frequencies, and only becomes red above the chosen cutoff frequency. Brownian noise can also be computer-generated by first generating a white noise signal, Fourier transforming it, then dividing the amplitudes of the different frequency components by the frequency, in one dimension, or by the frequency squared, in 2 dimensions, etc. MATLAB programs are available to generate Brownian and other power law-colored noise in one or any number of dimensions. AmA thanks you for tuning in. Please leave a comment. Grantani until the next video. Peace and much love to all. Lobby.